Hey everybody, hope everybody is doing well today. So, the meeting for Clark County commissioners is about to end, still ongoing, and I gotta tell you, there was a huge, massive turnout when it came to people saying that no, we don't want another lockdown, no, we don't want these capacity restrictions to come back, we don't want mask mandates, it's hurted our business, it's caused a lot of other health effects, suicides, depression, a lot of other types of mental illnesses. We had a lot of people bringing their emotions, their tears, their frustration, some of them even cried. It's just absolutely unbelievable. But I don't know exactly what happened. Correct me if I'm wrong. I wouldn't be surprised if they bring back some of the shutdowns. Although it does seem that the commissioners seem to be mixed on what they actually want to do. I have to tell you, folks, this is getting really dysfunctional. And see, let me tell you something. The good news is that the Clark County people, they're not getting jabbed. You know, people keep saying, well, you know, liberals run the county. It's doomed. There's nothing you can do. But if that were to be true, then why is the vaccination rate below the national average? You have counties in the West and East Coast have twice as much vaccination rates as Clark County. And I can tell you why, which if I tell you the reason why, I guess this is a taboo subject and YouTube will take it down. Apparently because we have a high non-white population, Latinos and blacks, they're not getting vaccinated. Blacks, they're not bothering. And as a result, they're now saying, oh, well, we have to go with these undeserved communities and we have to do research and approach them and get them to be jabbed. Well, maybe this is a good news that a lot of minorities, maybe they're not really as social justice, as crazy and lunatic as we were led to believe. Maybe there's some hope for them. But maybe, on the other hand, this can prove that, well, we should give them the jab because we all know what's that going to lead to. That can be better for you-know-who. And not to mention, if they show that it wasn't as successful, and I'm not saying it isn't, so YouTube, don't take down this video. I'm not making a statement that we can show that this is abuse. That's exactly what we can tell them. Now, unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it, but I spoke to these county commissioners and everything. I told them, well, why is there all this conflict of interest? Why is it that many politicians and many casino elites are heavily profiting from this pandemic, namely Jim Murren, resigned from his position in February of 2020, became part of the COVID task force, and now he heavily profited over the pandemic. See, there's a lot of eyebrows, and we talk to these politicians, they run away from me. They run away. They don't answer my question. And they answer many left-wing questions, right-wing questions, but they don't answer me. Because I tell you the undercover, open-minded, shocking truth. I give you the true bombshells. These are nonpartisan things. The fact is they don't care. Because they know that if the truth gets out there, if they were to answer, they're going to be in serious trouble. And if the truth continues to grow, their days are gone, folks. And we know that all these election audits are coming forward. We know that there's been proven fraud. We know eventually it's going to come to Clark County in Vegas. And we know when it comes, it's going to prove that these people truly did not win the elections. And this can show, okay, the people are not getting what they want with the lockdowns, with the airport renaming, with the sales taxes, with the stadium and all that. Our voice is being suppressed. We have an ugly political machine with the casinos, the fake labor unions like Culinary that's pumping all these votes along with that. They keep trying to pander to non-citizens or other types of immigrants. And that's what's really going on. And as a result, well, guess what? You know, what's going to be happening is that this is all going to be heavily exposed. Now, I just say, you know what? Just keep doing what you're doing. Do all these crazy piece of crap lockdowns. I don't give a damn because everything just backfires. We're going to suffer so much with the tourism economy. The economy is going to fail. We're seeing signs of the housing bubble is going to blow up. Then the number of sales is already going down. That's propping it up is these low mortgage rates, the forbearance, the rent moratoriums are about to end. And by the way, the rents are going up because the landlords have to cover their losses. Keep that in mind. And so now, as a result, we're just thinking like, you know what? We don't want to deal with all this. And when this whole thing fails, when there's another lockdown, when there's convention numbers that are missing, folks, we're not going back to 2019s, even if I were to be in charge. This is how horrible this is. So if this thing fails, then we can show that all these lockdowns, all these measures was a complete sham. And guess what? We can finally take it back. We can overthrow the system, overthrow the political, economic, and urban planning structure. Because this is absolutely disgusting what they're doing. This can show that it has failed. And then speaking about the jabs, and I'm not saying this is true, but I've heard a lot of nasty things about it. A lot of numbers coming out that's very, very ugly. I'm not going to talk about it. You guys have to do your own research. Go to BitChute, go to these other videos, because if I do, YouTube is going to take this video down. I'm not kidding you, folks. This is a very, very dark, zombie-like society that we're living in right now. I'm scared. Look what's going on. They're importing these roaches, these migrants all across this country. I'm getting fed up with this. I'm getting fed up with this political correctness. Seriously. And the more we stand up, the harder they're pushing us down in the gutter. They know they want these for votes. But by the way, when this whole pandemic is shown of what it is, well, then all the other issues, all the other things they fight for, climate change, immigration, Russian collusion, well, that has really been debunked. All the things that they fight for is just going to be essentially smeared out of the garbage because nobody's going to buy them anymore. The trust in the media is collapsing. That's a sad truth that we're living in. Now, here's the really sad part, because Vegas is a really tourism economy. Now, despite the fact that it's a high service rate of economy, the jab rate is very, very low. You would think it would be over 50%. It's lower than it is in Reno, Washoe County. And the thing is that are these pilots getting jabbed? And if these allegations that we're hearing on other sources, if it is true, well, then how are we going to have enough pilots to bring tourists to Las Vegas? In fact, you can say, well, they can drive here. Still people coming from California. Yeah. Well, if the numbers are true, and, you know, the number, what I'm talking about, if it goes down, which I'm not going to talk about, I guess I can use this word population. If there's not going to be enough people, how are we going to have the number of tourists? How is this going to work out? How is Vegas going to come back? How are we going to have enough visitors like we once did from all over the world? How are we going to have the capacity? How are we going to have the trained, skilled individuals to bring the tourists into Vegas? Not only we don't have the people to bring them over, but we don't even have the tourists. Because if these allegations about the you-know-what is true, well, guess what? Vegas ain't coming back anytime soon. And plus, how do we know if we can keep pumping up this economy with all this debt? It's making the US dollar not looking very bullish as it should be. So what does this all tell you? Now you can argue, well, maybe they can automate aviation, they can build a high-speed Hyperloop maglev system, but I'm telling you, there's going to be a lot of conflicts. There's going to be a lot of friction coming very soon. And it's going to be very, very scary, folks. And when this whole thing ravels out, we have to rise up, overthrow the system, and have a complete restructuring. Campaign finance laws, overthrow the people who are in charge, restructure our local boundaries, maybe even national boundaries. Heck, you've got a lot of West Coast Democrats and Southern Republicans. They want to break apart the United States. Well, you know what's going to happen to a lot of these Western Democrats, if you know what I'm talking about. I think I told you that many times. It's not looking pretty, folks. We can have a new way of building and planning our cities. We can break up these casino oligarchs. Who knows? Maybe they'll file for bankruptcy, for heaven's sakes. What's going to happen to all those casinos? It's looking pretty bad. Now, if they keep telling us, well, these whatever are safe, why are they censoring us for even questioning about what's going on? Think about it. I didn't even bring them up in the last meeting. My gosh, it's absolutely disgusting. But you need to do what you can to make sure that You spread this information. You get out there. Okay, I'm talking nonsense. Somebody's telling me I'm talking nonsense. Explain why I'm talking nonsense. Give me the reason why. Tell me the reason why I'm talking nonsense. At least I'm not walking away. At least I'm not saying, oh, shut up. Go move along. Yeah, I'm giving 100% facts. Yeah, explain why I'm giving 100% facts. Counter the argument. Seeking that white validation. Dude, I barely even talked about race in this entire meeting of my own. I just gave up racial facts that was given by the Clark County Commission. That these non-whites are not getting jabbed. That's not my opinion. That's a fact. My gosh. Think about it. We spent all that money for Resorts World. How do we know if the Drew Project is coming, the Allegiant Stadium? How do we know if these population numbers are going to continue? What about our infrastructure? What about all these skilled people that are needed to basically keep the system going? We're probably going to have to move out to a small town and be self-sufficient. Things are going to look really ugly, my friend. I'm considering selling my stocks very, very soon. Get into a bearish inverse fund, I can tell you that. But, wow, there's just a lot of people, people speaking out against these potential lockdowns. I wouldn't be surprised if they reinstate them. But it's okay. Bring it on. The more crazy things you do, we rise up. We spread the word. Even if you shut off all communications, because that's certainly down the road. We are going to fight back. Spread this video. Good luck. Take care, and we're going to get this through. See you.